Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. So I am not in a different space. I purely went from that chair to this chair to show off. It's Christmas time. I don't know about you, but I'm not ready for Christmas this year. I don't know what it is. I don't know. I'm severely behind, but at the same time I'm not stressed about it. I know I'm gonna buy a lot of things on Friday, so I'll probably kill most of my list on Friday, which should be good, but I don't know. I'm ready for, like, it's not that I'm not in the Christmas spirit, but at the same rate, it's not that I don't want Christmas to come. I'm just not really in the Christmas spirit. I did put up my tree. I will put up the vlog. I did vlog that, so I will put up the footage for me decorating my house. However, we put up the tree, yes, but my mom takes about 2 weeks to fully decorate the house. Like, my aunt is coming over, I don't know if it's this weekend or next weekend, to do the mantle, so I have to wait for that. And that's only in one of the rooms, and then there's 3 other rooms that still need to be decorated. Outside's not done, so yeah, that's not going up anytime soon, but it is about that time. I put up the tree to try to get me into the spirit. This isn't even a Christmas decoration technically. This is up all year, but it's quite festive. I was gonna do this in front of my tree, but it's upstairs and there's a lot of people on the main floor right now, so we're not doing that. But today, I thought to help me get into the Christmas season or get into the mood, I would talk to you about buying gifts. I will also post these on my Instagram as reels, just so the information is there. But I frequently get asked, how do I buy such good gifts every year? And I decided I was gonna make a video on how one does that. I did explain it to my friend once last year, and she was just like, I don't understand your brain. So I tried to break it down best I could. And we're going to talk about it today. So if you are interested in some tips,
so come on, give me love. I'ma show you how to move with my body. Come hit me with your touch and make me wanna say.
Okay, so I have my phone here. It has my list of 20 items. But before I even start with the first one, let's just preface this. Your gifts do not need to be huge. Keep that in mind for everything that I talk about today. Your gifts do not need to be huge. It's the thought that counts. Say it with me. It's the thought that counts. Not the price tag, not how big it is. Not if you bought it, not if, well, if you stole it, that counts, but that matters, but it's the thought that counts. That is all. Doesn't matter how big it is. If you give a gift to somebody and they complain about how big it is, you should probably take them off your list for next year. Let's just put that out there. Okay, let's start off with number 1. Listen, this might seem obvious, but listen to the person you are shopping for. People will often tell you what they want without you asking. Now, I say this because if you ever asked an individual what they want for Christmas and they weren't a child with a list, they're going to hit you with, I don't know. Because it's the same as saying, what do you like about me? I don't know. It's not that they don't know. It's that you kind of caught them off guard with the question. Specifically for the gift question, they say I don't know because when you ask them what they want, either everything disappears or things that come to mind they don't want to ask you for. Like one of the things I want per se is a new mattress. Am I going to ask anybody for a new mattress? Absolutely not. I mentioned it to my mom, but like she's my mom, but I'm not gonna tell my boyfriend I want a mattress for Christmas. That's not gonna happen. And at the same rate, especially with adults, if I say like I want a new pair of shoes, I can buy them. Because what you would be comfortable telling someone to get you is something that you actively know you could afford. But then in your head you're like, but I could just buy that. But then you don't want to ask them for something that you couldn't actively afford because then you think it's rude to ask for. So it's kind of a catch-22 when it comes with adults. Some kids will say I don't know because they don't want to ask for things, or their parents tell them not to ask for things or not to be greedy, and some kids with a list will tell you what they want. But the best way to know what somebody wants is to listen to what they tell you unprovoked. Now, I assume your Christmas list involves people that you talk to actively. Now, if there are people on this list that you don't talk to actively, that's really a little difficult for this. But for people that you do talk to actively or intimately, actively listen to them. They will almost always tell you what they need. Especially if they're having a hard day. And they go, oh, I just want. Now, the thing about active listening is you kinda have to do it all year. So if you're the type to wait until December, you may find yourself strapped in that regard. This is the type, like, you need to start listening from now for next year, technically. Like, you need to be listening all year. And the better surprise, like, it's so much more gratifying, so much more satisfying if, say, like in February somebody mentioned that they really wanted this tennis bracelet from Pandora. They saw the ad, they're like, oh, that is so pretty, I really like that, that's so cool, blah blah blah, and they never ended up getting it, and then they get it for Christmas from you. They'd be like, dang son, you listen. That's how you want to be for these things. Like for my boyfriend specifically, he drops hints about what he wants all the time, but then when I ask him what he wants for Christmas, it's always dead silence. So I have to listen to him all the time and just jot down what he wants. Active listen all year. That brings me to my second point. You want to keep an ongoing list all year. Update it constantly. So I have an app that I use for gift planning. I have all of the people, and as people come and go in my life, I edit this list. And anytime somebody mentions something that they want or that I could potentially get for them, or if I have an idea all on my own, just based on a conversation that I have with them, I put this in the list. And I keep this list going all year so that when it comes to Christmas or even birthdays, I already have a list of things to pick from. And now if they do get one or two of those things, you can knock them out, but that's cool. But you have a list of your own for these people. And that comes in handy. It takes away a lot of the stress because you don't have to then sit down and try to think about it, and then you don't have to ask them what they want. You can still, but you don't have to. You already have a list. Now, when Christmas does come around, say you have a list of 6 things, you don't have to buy all 6 things. You can get like 2 and then keep the 4 for the following year. Keep it constantly. Do not delete it. Especially if, like, say you have a list of 6 things that you wanted to get for this year and you don't end up getting through all of them because budget or whatever, budget availability, whatever. Don't give up on the last thing. Add that to next year. Do it as a birthday gift. There's always opportunity. Anniversary gifts. Like, my anniversary is very close to Christmas, so I just kind of divvy up things between the two. And then I have all of, like, my immediate people, all of their birthdays are close together, so I have Christmas basically twice a year. So I don't have the time nor capacity to then have to sit down and try to replan for this, so I keep a constant list. Now, list aside, and back to my first point, tip number 3, still ask them what they want. People, especially when it comes to Christmas, or if they know birthday is coming up, they tend to clam up. Some people, kids, like I said, are an exception, because they will really be like, yo, Christmas is coming up, I want this, and this, unprovoked. But if you're talking to maybe older kids or teenagers or people that are not so forward with these things, or adults, they're not going to tell you, they're not likely to tell you outright, unprovoked, what they want. So ask them. Now, a lot of the times, like I said, they're gonna say, I don't know. But sometimes people are just waiting to be asked so that they can tell you what they want. If anybody is like my mother, I ask her what she wants, she goes, I don't know, but I can let you know. And she'll go and think about it and come back with a list. Not just 1 or 2 things, a list. And it's just because, like I said, it's that sudden shock of being asked. The answer is going to be, I don't know, usually up front, unless they were actively thinking about it. It's just how the brain works. So ask them. Tip number 4. And this plays into my ongoing list. You need to start early. And I know you hear this all the time, but I don't mean like end of October. I don't mean like November. I don't mean start shopping early. You need to start planning early, because if you know what you're doing, then it takes off a lot of the pressure, and then you can plan the other parts of it. And then once it comes time to start purchasing gifts, you have a game plan. Now, I know people that start purchasing things long in advance, and I wouldn't say, like, you can do that for children usually, especially if they're your own children. If you're the one that buys them things, then you can really start purchasing ahead of time, because you could just avoid buying something twice, obviously. Now, the kicker comes in when you're buying stuff for adults or people that have their own money. Now, if you start buying things too early, especially things that you know that they want, they may end up buying it before Christmas. You might have run out the return date, because there's only like 30 days when you're buying it, not during the holiday season. And you either have to gift them it twice, end up selling the item, and you're now back to square one trying to purchase an item, or you gotta break the surprise and ask them to return it because you've already purchased it, but then you have to give it to them, and then you're still down a gift. So when I say start early, I mean more so the planning. I start purchasing gifts shortly after my birthday, so that's after mid-October. So mid-October, early November is usually when I start buying gifts, and that's a large enough but tight enough window that hopefully things aren't purchased. I try to tell like my immediates to not buy stuff for themselves during this time. And they know my gift giving schedule. They know that I start around this time, so they kind of taper down buying stuff for themselves. So that is kind of where I, in terms of starting to purchase early, that's where I go. Because then we're starting to talk about Black Friday. So I start planning for sales that are going to start coming up, because they start coming up in November. And that's when you get the good deals, and that's when they start prolonging return time. So around late October, early November is probably the earliest I would start buying, unless they're your children. Then you can buy whatever shit you can buy. As they ask you for things during the year, you just purchase them and hide them, and then Christmas, here is a drove of everything you asked for. That's easier when you handle the money. But if you are talking about people that have their own money, you need to be a little bit more finessed with this. So for step or tip 5, have a budget. And I think when it comes to having a budget, you need to have multiple. So find your people, so list your people. And like I said, I have my immediates, I have my in-laws, and then I have friends and not so immediate family. And my budgets change per group. So I have budgets per group. So in my immediates, they all have the same budget, but their budgets are higher than my in-laws. And everybody in my in-laws has the same budget, but their budget's higher than my friends, and not immediate family. And they have their budgets accordingly. And then add those, see what your total budget is. So, because that would just make up your total budget. If that total budget is higher than what you want to spend, that's when you taper it in. But I think it is necessary to have budgets per, not necessarily per person, you can have it by category like I do, but have your budgets per person and have your total budget and stick to it. If you don't have individual budgets for people and you just have a main budget, you will very quickly blow that, or somebody's gonna have to get cut from the list. I know this from trial and error. So if you don't have individual budgets and you spend too much on one person, and it's not until you get down the list and you realize, okay, well, the budget's done and you still have 3 more people to shop for, then you're either going to spend more money because you don't want to leave these people out, or you're going to have to cut these people out or return something, and it's a hassle. So if you have your individual budgets as well as your total budget, you can really stay on track with that. Especially, you can see who went over budget, if any, and then you can adjust other budgets accordingly. But at least you visually see that, and it doesn't come to when you finish your budget that you realize people have been left out. And the app that I use, it's an Android app, it's not on Apple, and I haven't found an Apple equivalent that I like. So find a gift app, or you could write it down, but like, it's easier to edit and keep long term if you have an app. But the app that I use has individual budgets as well as a total budget that you can see. You can also put in how much you actually spent, and then it will total up all the money that you spend on each individual gift, and then show you what your total spent is. So it's really intuitive in that fashion. I really like it for that. So step 5, have a budget. Tip 6. And again, all of these kind of piggyback on having a list and planning ahead. Now, if you've made a list of things that you want to get a person, I personally would start with the big gift or the larger. Like I said at the beginning, you do not need to give large gifts. However, if you have a list, say you have a budget and you have a list of things. So you have, like, let's for argument's sake, you have 5 things. One thing costs more than the other 4 things, but that one thing is in your budget. Buy the gift that has the most value. Buy the bigger gift. That you think, obviously in this list there should be things that the person wants, needs, or whatever. Buy the bigger gift. There was one year I personally didn't think I had the budget for, I think it was the PS4 at the time, for my boyfriend. This was years ago. This is when the PS4 came out. And instead of getting the PS4, I bought a bunch of little gifts and basically spent the amount of money that the PS4 cost. This is before I had my game plans and stuff, so I didn't budget. But I basically spent the amount of money that a PS4 would have cost. And yes, he enjoyed his gifts, but I'm sure he would have enjoyed the PS4 because he still bought a PS4 at some point. So this is purely from that example. You have a list of things, and within your budget, if that big gift is within your budget, get that one. And then if you still have space within your budget, you can then get any of the little ones, or sprinkle in some little goodies, make cookies, whatever. But one really good gift surpasses 4 not so good gifts. Some people do like quantity, but we're going for quality over quantity, especially with adults. So maybe not with kids. Some kids really do prefer quantity over quality. But yeah, try to go for the one really good quality gift, fit that in, and then you can play with the budget or with the rest of the budget, but go for the quality over the quantity. Now, tip number 7. And this is kind of the opposite of tip number 6. Now, if you look at your list and it is, you don't have really one main gift, gift baskets are always really nice, but self-curated, personalized gift baskets are A1. They do not have to be large. They can be an amalgamation of gifts, and they can also have a theme. So I've done several gift baskets. One gift basket I did for my boyfriend was an amalgamation of things that he likes and needed. So if I can remember, there was clothes in there, there was things that I made in there, and then I got snacks, and there was drinks, a whole bunch of things, a combination of things that he loves. I think there was a board game in there. This was years ago, so I'm trying to remember. Combination of things that he loves. Now for my girlfriends, last year, I did a gift box. So I made a personalized gift set. I bought them all wine glasses with their name on them. I got this box from LCBO, but it's basically to put 2 wine bottles in it, and there's a divider in it, and then it slides. It was very nice. But instead, I got 1 wine bottle, and I know what my friends drink, so I got white and red. For those who like white and those who like red, I put the bottle on one side. I got their personalized glass, I wrapped it, put it on the other side, and on the underneath of the glass, so the glass was standing on, was a candle from Bath & Body Works, and I only buy 2 different candles from Bath & Body Works, and that is the Stress Relief Lavender Cedar, best candle, and Midnight Blue Citrus are the two candles that I buy from Bath and Body Works. I don't know anybody that doesn't like these candles, but these are the two scents that I always go to, because usually when I do my candle purchase for the year, I do it online. So those are my two candles. But anyways, I put the candle underneath the glass, had the glass standing up, so when you hold it up, it was a whole nice presented gift set, personalized. And close the box. Very cute, but like I said, there wasn't any main gift in that. The main gift realistically was the glass, but I thought the glass on its own needed a little something, a little zhuzhing, so I added the candle, which is a nice gift, and wine, which is a nice gift. All of those could have been gifted individually, but in this set, personalized to their taste and their needs, and it was a theme, basically relaxation, drink wine, burn a candle, watch a movie, all that. Gift baskets, gift sets, personalized ones are always great if you don't have a main gift, because then this gift basket, gift set becomes the main gift. And I know I said quality over quantity, but there is a lot of quality that goes into curating a gift basket and or a gift set for somebody, especially if it is actually curated to them. Not if you just bought a bunch of things and threw them in a basket, but like thought and effort goes in it. So there's a little bit of a DIY aspect to it. So thought and effort going into it. Tip number 8. There's no shame in giving money. I don't care who you're giving it to. I don't know anybody that would turn down money. I had a friend ask me if it would be tacky or disingenuous to give money as a gift for a wedding. I was like, no. You have any idea how much money they've spent on this wedding? I'm sure they would be fine with receiving some of it back. Teenagers love them some money, especially if they're not currently working, because they would rather put it towards what it is that they want to buy, because they don't want to ask you for the PS4, auntie, because you're not going to buy me a PS4, but if you want to slip me $100, I can add it to my PS4 fund. I'm sure there are some struggling college students that would love to pay off a debt. Every time I ask my dad what he wants for Christmas, he wants a bill paid. So there's no shame in giving money. You can do it in a cute way when it comes to money and gift cards. If you're gonna do that, the presentation needs, well, it doesn't need to be. You could just give somebody money, but we're talking about the holidays and gift giving, and you can still make it a pleasing gift. It can be an experience. So get a really nice card, write something nice, something heartfelt, really dig deep, and then put the money in there and you're good. You're done. Even if you want, you can put the money in a box, put that box inside of another box, and then put that box inside of another box, and then wrap that box up and mail that box. No, I'm joking. But yes, you can put the money in a box, wrap the box. You can make it a trick thing. You wrap the box, put it in another box, wrap the box, put it in another box, and make them go through a whole lot of effort to get the cash. That's cute. Now, money is great. Checks are great. Gift cards. I personally do not like gift cards unless I know specifically where this person likes to spend their money. Or if I know somebody is saving towards something, like for my mom, she was saving towards a laptop last year, so I got her Visa gift cards, because I know they apply at various electronics stores, so that helped. But if you do not know what gift card to get, give them cash. Please do not give them a gift card somewhere that they don't go. That's the hardest one. Or I'm not a huge fan of like gift cards for food, because then you would have to know where they eat. One, that's another problem, and two, like they rarely get spent. they end up getting lost before they're used. So I'm not a huge one for restaurant gift cards, but if you know somebody like loves Montana's, they go to Montana's every weekend, fine, get them a Montana's gift card. But gift cards are still fairly personal, so you need to know where they shop or where they go to spend an abundance of money, because they need to go there often enough to remember that they have a gift card and use it. If you give them a gift card to somewhere they don't go often, they're going to forget about the gift card, and then when they do end up going there that once out of the year and forget about the gift card, they're going to kick themselves and be like, oh, I have this gift card. It's just a little bit more stressful. So if you're going to get a gift card, make sure you know where they shop. Like me, my Achilles heel is Sephora, okay? If I know I have Sephora cards, I buy a lot of stuff. Like I had 6 or 7 Sephora gift cards just from my birthday, and I went crazy during that sale. This is why I love my birthday is just prior to the sale. So that was great. People know that I am a makeup hoarder, so that worked out for me. But like money would have still worked out in the same regard. I would have still spent it at Sephora, but actually maybe not. But having the Sephora card just makes you have to spend it at Sephora. Just be mindful about the gift cards that you are purchasing. There are also broader gift card options, so like Visa gift cards, Amazon gift cards, because you can get a multitude of things from Amazon. There's some malls that have gift certificates or gift cards, which gives them access to a multitude of places. So if you don't know what to get, but you really want to get them a gift card just because it seems more thoughtful than cash itself, try to aim for the broader ones. Keep in mind Visa gift cards do have applicable places as well as service fees, so that's always something to keep in mind. 9. If you want to go really sentimental, you can donate in their name. So last year for my holiday giveaway, it was $100 to any charity, $100 to any charity of your choice in your name. And that the individual that won, I did a donation in her name to the charity that she chose. And that's just it's thoughtful, especially for somebody that says that they don't want anything personally. Like they wouldn't want to accept a gift personally. You can do a gift, donate in their name, and especially if it's to some place that they care about or a charity that they care about. It's a really thoughtful gift. It's kind of like giving cash, but it's more intentional. If there's a struggling college student that has a GoFundMe page, you can donate to their GoFundMe towards their debt. So it's just a little bit more thoughtful, a little bit more intentional. And what's cute about that is there's always a certificate when you donate, so you can put their name and whatnot, and then you can put it in an envelope for them, or you can put it in a card, or you can mail it to them, email it to them, whatever. So it is a gift. Like, it is an intentional gift. You do get something to show them proof of said gift, so that's really nice. Number 10. Take advantage of sales and multiple sellers. So shopping online is great for this. Now we're coming up to a time where there are lots of sales and you might be a little bit overwhelmed, but shopping online is great for this, and having your list and budget are things that you're gonna need in order to do this successfully. I have loads of tabs open during the holidays, as well as I have my Honey. I use the Honey app on my computer to help monitor sales. So especially if there's something very specific that I want to be purchasing, have Honey look out for sales for those. So having multiple tabs open with everything that it is that you're looking for will work. It goes a long way. So you want to know what you're purchasing, know where you can get them, compare on different sellers where you can get it the most affordable, as well as get it in time. So you also want to take a look at the shipping costs, if there's going to be duties involved, where it's coming from, all of that, so you can compare and contrast those to make a decision as to where you should purchase it from, and then who is having a sale and where you can get the best deals for the item. So starting early is great for this, so that you can watch these things. You want to be prepared at least before Black Friday, because that's when the deals really start. So yeah, take advantage of that. Online shopping is great for it. I know a lot of people like to shop in person, but personally I don't, especially for Christmas and stuff, because like, yeah, you go into one store, you find something, you're like, yeah, okay, this works, and you purchase it, and then you go into another store and you're like, actually I should have got that, and then that's just annoying. So I prefer the online approach. Even if you just suss it out online and then go in person and purchase it, that works too, but going online lets you see a lot of things at once, so you can really compare and contrast instead of having to go back and forth between stores or having to make a decision today. Number 11, try to buy multiple gifts from the same seller. So this piggybacks off of the other note. So this can help you save a lot of companies do bundle deals. So you want to see if you can get multiple things from one seller. This also will cut on shipping costs. You'll get your things at one time instead of receiving multiple things and having to keep track of so many things coming in. If you're doing this online, that's just a point towards multiple sellers and watching deals. So you want to try to buy multiple gifts from one seller. Usually it helps cut down on costs and just ease of use and convenience if you can just purchase multiple things from one place. Tip number 12, DIY. There's no shame in making something. I have a friend that paints pictures for his family for Christmas, so why not? One year I drew a picture of my mom, like a big portrait of my mom. I made a craft wire bonsai tree for my boyfriend last year. I always try to make him something specifically, just because it's a labor of love. What else have I made? I made a lot of things. I made a stained glass painting for my mother-in-law one year. So if you don't have the money, you can always make something, because who is going to say, like, if you make something for somebody and they turn their nose up on it, like I said at the beginning, take them off of your list for next year. These are good things to know, but it's a labor of love. Like, why wouldn't you enjoy a gift that somebody made for you? So DIY, and there are plenty of DIYs online. You can play to your own strengths. You can search up DIY gifts to make that you think you could excel in, and have fun with it. Make it personal. Pick a color scheme that would work with their house, or pick a color scheme that they enjoy, their favorite color, make it their favorite animal. Like, make it very personal. Try to make everything very personal. Because you're DIYing it, you have the ability to make it whatever it is that you want, so make it as personal as possible. Tip 13, regift. This can also be thrifting. If you're experienced with, I'm not very experienced with thrifting, but if you go thrifting and you are able to find things that are worth gifting, then by all means, support local businesses and thrift. You can also regift. There is no shame in regifting something, as long as it's not like used or expired. Like, if you have makeup that's been sitting there for years, maybe don't regift that. But if it's sealed, you just got it, you don't use it, you don't want it, it's not broken, it's not damaged, there's no shame in regifting. Don't regift to the person that gave it to you, so keep track of that. But why not? But I gave all of my decluttered fragrances to my brother's girlfriend. She loved it. I didn't give it to her as a gift, but because they were open. But if you have something you know for a fact you're not going to use, or you receive double of something. When I was doing BoxyCharm, when I had the BoxyCharm subscription, anytime I got something in that I knew for a fact I wasn't going to use without even having to open it, I added it to my Christmas pile and it went to a good home. So there's no shame in regifting, as long as you don't regift to the person that gave it to you. Why would they know? How would they know? If you know that they will, regift intentionally. So if you know for a fact that they're not going to use it, then don't give them it. But if you receive something that you don't want or you're not going to use, but you know for a fact that somebody else wanted, give it to them. Put a bow on it. They don't need to know you didn't pay for it, for them specifically. So regift. Alright, number 14 is group up. So oftentimes I group up with my boyfriend to buy a gift for my mom, or with my boyfriend to buy a gift for his mom, or with my boyfriend to buy a gift for his sister. You know, sometimes you just need to share budgets. Or with my brother to buy gifts for my parents, like, or with my mother to buy a gift for my brother. Like, you can group up with people, especially if the other person doesn't know what to get. A certain individual, you can play off each other and go, okay, I'll pay half, you pay half, we'll put our names on it, voila, Bob's your uncle, Becky's your aunt. Or if there's something on your list that you can't afford or is outside of your budget, but if you add another person you can then afford it, like my boyfriend and I bought my brother a PS4 one year, then you can do that. It's like looking back at the previous tip about trying to get quality over quantity, so they may not get 2 different gifts from an individual, but they can get that big quality gift from 2 individuals. I mean, I'm sure they'll be fine. So yes, group up with people, especially if your budget doesn't allow you to get what it is that you do want to get. Group up with someone and you can bounce ideas off of each other. It also helps to eliminate getting the same gift from 2 different sources. So group up with someone, and then all the other tips still apply to the 2 of you now, or the 3 of you, or how many of you've grouped. Number 15, and this is kind of like grouping but not quite. If you have a lot, say like a lot of friends or a big friend group, and you know, because there's so many of them, budget would be low for each of them, but you still want to be able to get them something nice. Do a Secret Santa. I have a really large extended family, and we do Secret Santas because like there's like 30 odd people in just this one extended family, and nobody has that. Nobody has the capacity to support that. So we Secret Santa all the time, which makes it so much more fun and so much easier and less stressful, because then you just have to get the gift for the one person. And it's still a surprise, it's still fun, you still get to be personal about it, all of that. So do Secret Santa if it's a large group of people and you want to be intentional and you want to be able to get them something really nice, or your budget just can't afford to have so many people on the list and your only option would be to not get them gifts. Secret Santa there's no shame in that, especially when it comes to people your own age. So if you're doing this with your friends or like your older cousins, whatever, there's no shame in that. Now, the last 5 tips I have here are more so questions, things that you can think about in order to figure out what to get someone. So number 16, what do they like? And these questions, you gotta dig deep, you gotta think about this person and what you know about them. A lot about giving gifts is just what you know about the person and how well you know the person, and it really is a testament to how well you know said person if you can gift them something well. So first thing to think about is, what do they like? What are they into? Make a list. You can always make a list of things that they like. Be creepy. Go to their house. Look at the stuff that they own. And like piggyback off of that. On to tip 17. What do they collect? If you are a collector of sorts, I collect perfume, I collect makeup, I collect Build-A-Bear animals, I collect pop characters, I collect tiaras. I'm starting to realize I collect a lot of things, but you get the idea. I collect things. My boyfriend collects lightsabers. He collects pop characters as well. He collects Lego. I collect Lego castles specifically. He collects Lego Star Wars. My mom collects shoes. My brother collects shoes. So what do they collect? What do they already own? And then try to find something else that they don't have. And a lot of times people that collect things will mention what the next thing is that they're looking for. So that's when your active listening comes in handy and you add that to your list. So instead of asking them what do they want, ask them about their collection. Try to do this well before December because then they will know what you are doing. But you can probe them for information. So ask them about your collection. I see your collection is growing, tell me about this, tell me about this, tell me about this. Okay, cool. So what are you looking to get next? And then write it down. Probe people for information. Talk to these people. Number 18, piggybacks off of collecting. What are their hobbies? Talk to them about their hobbies. What do they need to do said hobby? What equipment do they need? Have they grown out of certain things? Like, how can you help level up their hobby? So talk to them about their hobbies and then ask them, well, what else would you need? Or what else are you looking to get? Make it very nonchalant. Probe them for information. Number 19, look at where they shop actively, currently. I shop at Sephora all the time. So if you know what my collection looks like, you know what I'm into, you know what I like, you know what I collect, and where I shop, then you can then go to Sephora and go, she doesn't have this, get that. It's like a lost art. It's an art form. You gotta be kind of sneaky and be able to probe people for information, but like just pay attention and then you have all of the information laid out for you. You just gotta make a decision at this point. Tip number 20 is what could they find useful? So this is one of my favorite things is people don't always know what they need in life, and it takes an objective eye to be like, you know what, you need this. Like, this is what you're complaining about all the time, you need this. My mom last year was complaining about getting arthritis in her hand, and she's too young for arthritis in her hand, and there was really nothing that was provoking it. So it was just like really just all of a sudden started coming up. So we're like, what the hell? She needed a new mattress. I did the research into it. Like, she needs a new mattress. I got her a mattress. That pain's gone. But she didn't know that. So you gotta like listen to what people are complaining about, and you know what? You need this. Or something that you've received or got recently that you find extremely useful and you think the other person will find useful. This comes in handy, especially for people that you may not be like so close to, or you may not know many specifics. You really just don't know what to get them, even given the tips. If you have something that you've purchased that you find is just like really helpful, you could give that to almost anyone that you think could use it. And like a lot of new gadgets, new tech that is coming out, it doesn't have to be anything expensive obviously, but that shiatsu gun, that's cool. That might not be something that everybody has, but it's super helpful. A really nice throw blanket, that's helpful, and you can never have too many of those. People really appreciate gifts like that. A nice duffel bag, travel bag. could go a long way. And again, even if somebody like owns a travel bag, that's the type of thing that you can purchase, and that's the type of thing that you could purchase as a gift that they may keep more than one of. Amazon is great for this. They love showing new products and what's new, what's in, what's current, what's popular, and that's a good source for things that are useful. Google is free. Number 21, tip number 21. Google is free. What I mean by that is there is so much resources, so many curated lists, so many options out there if you just Google what you're looking for. Amazon is a great place, so anything department store-esque like Walmart, Hudson's Bay, those are great places to find curated lists for things or sections for teen or preschool or adult or the teenage girl, teenage boy, stuff like that. So yeah, Google is free, and I will put some key searches up for you, such as what do you buy for a teen girl 2021? What do you buy for the man in your life? What do you buy for someone who is a carpenter? Like, get really specific. What do you buy for someone that spends all their time on a computer? Someone that loves cooking? What do you buy for someone that collects things? What do you buy for the woman in your life, for your boss, for your coworker? What do you buy for your coworker that hates their job? Get specific in your search. You can find a lot of material online, and that is like the best way to start, is just doing research and get to the nitty-gritty instead of just looking manually through things. Search specific terms, very specific. And I'm referencing people in my life when I'm coming up with these search terms. Get personal, get to the nitty-gritty, and try to find specifics that you can search, and that will narrow down your search and help you find something that's a little bit more personable. And lastly, tip 22. Do you want the gift? I can't tell you how many times I've bought a gift so good and I'm like, dang, I want this for myself. Now, not all gifts are going to be like that, because if you're buying something for someone and they have completely different interests and this gift happens to be for that specific interest, you may not want it personally. But there has to be a certain amount of appreciation on your own part for the gift. So you look at it and you're like, I kind of want to keep this. You know, it's good. Like, if you can find appreciation in it, then the person that you give it to should be able to find appreciation in it. I bought the holiday Barbie last year for my girlfriend's daughter, and she almost didn't get it. I don't even collect Barbies anymore, but it was so pretty, and I was like, she would really like this because it's gorgeous. And she was a dark-skinned girl, and I'm like, she was a dark-skinned girl with curly hair, and I'm like, I know she's gonna be able to see herself in this. And it's just, the representation was there. It was so pretty. I wanted it. I gave it to her, obviously, but I almost didn't. She almost got a different present. So if you can find appreciation for the gift that you gave, then you know you really put thought into it, and it's something good. Now, you give a gift, they should appreciate it regardless of what the gift is. But it's always nice to receive a gift that you actively enjoy or actively want, or know that you could use, or see that you could use. It's always so much better to receive those types of gifts. Now, you might, like, if you get an ugly sweater from your grandmother, you know it's the thought that counts, obviously, and you love your grandmother and the way she looks at you when she gives you this ugly sweater. You can't be mad at that, okay? You gotta be happy and you appreciate the gift, but are you gonna use it? Probably not. You wear it in her presence to make her feel better, and you know, that's pretty much it. But that's the joy in the holidays and the share between the two people. But if grandma got you those shoes that you've been eyeing, then you have that same share between the two, but like now it is something that you can add to your day-to-day, and every time you wear them you can remember your grandmother, and it's just so much more sentimental. Like, when something is sentimental, it kind of still has to be useful for it to remain sentimental. It still has to hold a place in your day-to-day for you to be able to look back on it and be like, yeah, this is from my grandmother. I remember her every time I look at it, every time I touch it. So yeah, that is my 20 plus tips. I will be sharing them on Instagram as well. Leave in the comments any questions or suggestions, any gift ideas, anything you plan on getting anybody, if you found this list useful. And if you do, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Happy holidays. It's like so much better of a, what? It's step, nope, not step.
Had this sweet talk.